streamed by itself. My internet literally took me out. So let me be sure what happened. So I think it was my internet. I didn't understand, so I just saw that something happened. Apology for that. My internet is very strong. I wonder why it did that way. I think it's my internet connection. So can you still see my screen? I hope I'm still sharing the right screen. I don't know if you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? So what do you use for your streaming? I currently use this video, and I think it's not really fine for me. All right. All right. All right. So let's just continue. So the next column we have the, okay, I think I wanted to say something regarding this. I can see that my internet is really lagging. So I wanted to make sure that my header should be, justified to the middle. So so if you are familiar with Microsoft Word and the rest, all this text editor, this should not be a challenge. So I can just basically use the center to make sure that my header is at the center. Yeah, thanks. So the next one is item code. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Thanks. Thanks. I'll do that. I'll do that. That's really brilliant, bro. I actually wasn't thinking about that. Item description, unit of measure. Uh, so this is so just because of this. And what I can do again is I can either expand this way, right? Mm, a little bit adjustment. So we are still within 11. So this one keeps locking you out. Okay, so we have um, right. We have total budget costs. And then so we have supplied total units. Alright, so this is actually a kind of simple report. The only thing here that we are going to do is um, okay. So I'm just going to pass in the values. No much thing to do here. Item code, item description, unit of measurements. So this one's going to have a field supplied quantity, supplied unit cost. Did I pick the unit cost there? I did not. Okay. Quantity variance. They will be the ones to fill this manually. Remarks. They will fill remarks manually. So I think that is basically all for the table. So we move to the footer. So there are a bunch of information on the footer. Um, so one of them is prepared by. So just the bad thing with this report builder is we are not able to insert a table right below here. This would have made more of reports looks very professional, very sharp, right? So we are only left with either using a rectangle or a text box. Um, so it's not actually bad. We can still do that, or we can be no. So yeah, I think that's the only option we can use for now. I was thinking we could also attach it to the body, but the price would be that let's assume that this report is going to span into like 3 4 pages. That means that for each line there is going to be um, for each page. That makes sense. For each page is going to have that information. So what do you think? Do you think we should put that in the body or we should put the information on the footer? So we have informations like prepared by, approved by, you know, security officer, those kind of label on this report. So we also have um, the company's notes, right? So where do you think we should put it? Should we still maintain putting it on the footer, or we can just add it additionally as part of the project? So what do you think? Oh, all right, fantastic. So the only restriction that we might have here is we might not be able to, arrange it properly, just like the way table would give us that flexibility to. Hello, Fazal, how are you doing today? So let's just make use of the footer, right? But I really don't know why they could not give us, the ability to use table across, be it footer, be it header, be it the body. But we're going to work with that. Yeah, we don't have a choice. So the first one here is prepared by. So we have. Another thing I do is I create an overall box, but so I'm just going to do this like that. Prepared by. So I'm going to copy this and duplicate this in 6, 7, 8, 9, in 9 different places. C, V, E. Okay. So the first one is prepared by. So I'm also going to allow it to align, and I'm going to drag it a little bit up. Right, you can see that invisible line just for me to get it aligned. Right, we have prepared by, we have store officer below it, we have store officer. um so we have some merging column, so I'm going to put the next one. Remember that we have 13 column here on the body, so let's see, where will the center be? I think the center should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around there, 6. So we are going to put one of them around that 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah. So we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Right, pretty much straightforward. So I'm just going to change the text. This is store officer. Yeah, thank you so much. Aha, I knew this guy was a duplicate. There is something ID beneath it. How do we get that out? So we can drag you. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So this guy is kind of thick. Yeah. So you can see it is thick a bit. How many is still there? Wow. Okay, that's the last one. All right, so I'm going to delete this too. For manager, we have security officer slash CEO. We have internal audits. What else? The report is actually blur. That is why I'm actually focusing very much more. So that I can grab the text. Well, that's white copy. Is that white copy accounts? What does that mean? Expand this guy a little bit more. Remember that the height is about, I think, 4. Is it 4? Oh, that is still 8.5. So we've not done anything. We've not used anything actually. So I'm going to drag this guy here, and drag this guy also here. So I don't think we are missing anything. So we have white copy account slash audits. We have vendor great. We have store blue copy. Sorry about this. This last one is really very low. And it's a group of text. I can't see this. I can't see that. So let me check from a smaller view. The report is very blur, and I don't want to spoil my eye. So, but you can see that we have been able to achieve, at least, from the look of things, we have been able to achieve something unique. So, what we can do here is we'll make sure that this guy doesn't have any outline. So we'll do the same thing for the others. We'll make sure their outline is not showing. This helps us to deceive the front end that it was just written like that. So so you can imagine that the user sees all of this. It's like, oh, I don't need it. Why are you giving me? So they needed underline, right? So I could have, just use a dash all through by clicking dash and probably shift dash or control dash to have that. But I want it in a proper way. Alright. So this one I'm going to actually reduce it. So I'm going to have this increased down there. So what I can do again is I would actually zoom so that I don't miss any information, right? So I want this to be on top of, right? Alright, so it looks like they are together. So what I want to do here is now I want to give this a bottom border, so it looks like a straight line. At the end of the day, when we look at it functionally, it becomes very beautiful, right? So I'm just going to copy this and paste it so I can use it over and over again. So I'll also stop my life because the church beside me now would take over everything. So we have two. We have three. We have four. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is more than that. Schedule 0 to grades. No, no, not grades. Non-grades. So basically, it's just for you to just be patient, and that's all. It's a very simple thing to do to develop. Can I reduce everything? Yeah. Everything fast. I think it looks good. So now let's properly arrange this too. This should be, let's stay there. It could actually stay beside this guy so that it looks like a continuity. Just imagine you type in here and then continuity just like that. Nothing really much here, right? So I think I'm just, going to look for other reports that looks challenging. As Let me reduce the size so that I can do this, and I can also reduce this down here, same as this. Then I can come back to make sure it's within 11. Let's do the same thing here. Right, let's adjust it to the left. Yeah. So I think the report is already, almost done. So what is left is just a statement here, which is very, very blurry. Let me see again if I can see it from here. Excuse me. It's really blurry. So, so I hope I can see it from this. It states that quantity. Okay. Yeah. Fine. I'm able to see it. NB. So I'm going to still expand this below and copy this, paste it, drag this here, and do this N dot B. Make sure it is bold, and then the rest should not be bold. Apologies for that. Great. Sorry, I'm not really seeing this well. think that's all I can see. I can't see the rest of it. But I think we have done pretty much. All right. We've done a fantastic job together, right? We've done a fantastic job. I can already see the output of the reports already without running it. And all I just want to do now is just to cross check, just in case anything was omitted. And what we can do here is, what advice would you give to beginners who have just started learning Business Central? Where should they start? What concepts should they focus on? You know, honestly, I feel like there isn't a really good learning path available. You're very right. Very, very overwhelming. Even at the stage whereby you already, getting yourself familiar with it. What happens is that you get lost at the end of the day, and that happens very much often. So for me, I think the easiest or easier way or easier path to take is, familiarize yourself with the functional parts. When you get familiar with the functional parts, where how to filter item from the front end, how to navigate basically. If you can navigate basically, that gives you, an edge when shifting into development. Honestly speaking, it gives you that edge, um, and that's worked for me. You know, my own background is quite different. I've been a developer right from, right from start. So it wasn't really a challenge for me navigating myself into that niche. But what I'm trying to say is that as a beginner, just try to learn the functionality. When you just know the function, not 100%, at least 20-30% of the functionality. If you can navigate yourself, maybe just imagining cases whereby maybe from sales order, when you post, it goes to posted sales order, posted sales invoice, and what happens to the sales order, it gets archived. When you can navigate yourself through the entire process that way, then you can first of all try reporting. Reporting is actually something that can give you boost in confidence, and then when that confidence is already emerging, then you can now go into, creating customization, right? Creating a table, creating a page is not actually complex. It's just because where you are starting from, where you are coming in from, right? So it's also like that for us when we started, because now that there's even much more information out there. There were no information for us to work with. So I suggest you start from the functional parts, and I also personally make use of the Microsoft Learn. I'm going to open my screen to share that with you. I personally make use of Microsoft Learn, and I practice until I get what those methods are actually doing. So, so what would you rate yourself in terms of level? What would be your level in terms of AL in general? Like, so can you comfortably build a report, a table, a page, or you're still finding issues around probably creating actions, understanding the triggers? So data to seek. So what category do you find yourself at? So as a beginner. So let me share my learning path, so you see that even I also utilize the learning path very, very well, and it doesn't really help until I try it myself, right? Then it helps me. So I'm going to share that part also now. You're going to see it right on the screen. So you can see on the screen Microsoft Learn, right? Um, just let me know if you can see my screen so that I'm not the only one seeing it. Can you see Microsoft Learn on the screen? Live. So yeah, you should be able to see my screen now. I think I can see mine myself. Are you able to see my screen? Yeah, okay. All right. So this is actually what I actually used to groom myself because um the same challenge you are facing, that there is no material, there is no, there is no roadmap basically. So this is what I actually used to align myself, and how I did it was I first of all started with the functional parts, right? I started navigating the procurement process, sales processes. Then I started with tables, right? So I'm going to share this link in the description below. Um, so business central, yeah. So this is all I'm going to share. So you can find that in the description as at now. I have updated the description. You find the link. You find the link right there. Yeah, you'll find the link right there. So when I'm actually going into a customization like that, so I could just go on table. So this time around, I think my network is not that fantastic. You basically learn table, pages, fields, triggers, and bit of reporting isn't too hard. The basic are manageable, but when you want to move to more advanced stuff, it gets a little bit tricky. So the advanced stuff like events, subscriber, posting routines, more complex customization, right? So you still, what's real, what scenario? Usually asks for the what real scenario looks like. Yeah, I think I understand you. I think I understand you. So basically, it's still that beginner or that basic that you are actually making look a little bit complex. So what I'm trying to say is that I already know the building blocks. If I'm to build any customization, let's take for instance, I'm going to be working or creating a purchase requisition, right? So I know that my purchase requisition should have a table that I can work with. Do you get? I know that it needs to have a table that I can work with, and from that table I just want to get those information that this client or the customer needs on that table. Information like the requester, the requested dates, the expected delivery dates. If it is something that has to do within a budget, the budget at which they are working with, um, the, if applicable, dimensions. Do you understand? So all those bit informations, right, that I have gathered from the customer would make my work much easier, because I know at the end of the day I just want to create a field. The only thing that makes it different or professional is the logic behind all of those stuff, right? So it's basically not hard, but then it is. So it's basically not hard. Just familiarize yourself with events, subscribers, and do more of reading the standard code, how they actually handled theirs standardly, and try to replicate stuff like that. That's really helps you on the long run. There is no magic to it again, honestly speaking. Honestly speaking, there is nothing advanced again in the language. It's just how well you're using it. If you don't use it often, it becomes that complex to you. Honestly, there is nothing I cannot develop on that platform, right? So the worst case scenario would just be that it might take time, right? So integration, there's nothing hard actually there. So just get yourself building projects all the time, and then you see that you just get to advance your skill, right? Bros, outside. So that's basically it. Do you have any question that I can entertain? So I think the next phase here is for us. So I'm looking at what the environment I'll use to run the report. I don't want to showcase some information. So what I'll just do is I'm going to migrate this to my own environment so that I can share my own environments, right? So like I said, it's a live project. The report we are dealing with is a live project. So I just decided to want to build it together with you guys. What's your original name? Do you have any original name? So you mean it's more like that's the recipe. The more you cook, the more you get better at it. I swear to you, there is no magic there. No magic at all. Aside from experience, you have tried things that don't work. You have tried some things that, performance wise, they are very whack. So those are the things that just make you a pro. Because, so let's take for instance, I want to filter for some information with a field that is not a primary key, right? I already know that this is going to affect performance, but there are other things I can do to make that, work fine, and performance is still like 100%. I can set current key to that field. Me setting current key to that field now, I have already allowed myself to have an optimized performance by searching with a field along the road. So let's take for instance again, I'm currently working with a table or a record. So I'm currently filtering with I'm currently manipulating a particular relation. At the end of the day, I clear that table, I clear the record. So what I'm trying to say is, let me see if there is a portion of my code I can still share. So it's better to like demonstrate something like that. So let me just do something. So this is what I'm talking about. So like I was saying, as an advanced person, all you just want to be concerned about is optimization, speed, performance, better way to handle or better way to manipulate your data. So what I'm saying performance wise is, let's say for instance, I have a reference to a record called sales order. Right? Sales order makes use of the sales header, right? So let's say I want to work with this particular record. I want to get some data from it. Your internet is lagging a bit. Oh, I just need to disconnect some devices from this. Alright, so I'll just wait for, let me know when you can see my current screen. I'd already written a sales order variable. Let me know when you can see my current variable. All right. So I don't know what to do to this. I'm not sure it's my internet connection. Even though I try to upgrade my device, I'm still facing the same challenge. So I will try to do some research also, so that the experience can be seamless between me and my viewers also. So the concept I'm trying to explain now is I have a variable which is pointing to the sales header record. YouTube is not receiving enough video in stream. Okay. Can you disconnect from my Wi-Fi first? Nice. I want to see if this my screen is okay. So just give me a sec. Let me try disconnecting some other devices. All right, so the concept I'm trying to explain here, I want to create a local function, local procedure. So I'm going to name this manipulate data. So as it is being stated here, that is exactly what this function is going to do. So I want to use this function to manipulate data, right? So and the data I'm going to be working with is the sales order. Let's take for instance that I want to retrieve all sales header that is of document type invoice, right? And I want to do some certain things. Then after I'm done doing what I want to do, can you confirm that you can see my screen and all good? Yeah. Oh, thanks. All right. So, like I said, my sales order dot reset. Yeah, YouTube. So I can do my sales order dot reset. Right. The next thing is very important doing all of this. So these are where your pro skills come in place. I want to use this record, but I make sure that there is nothing on it. This is me using it fresh. So I think it's still lagging, Abby. Is it still lagging? Can you confirm you can see my dot reset? I think it's lagging too. Still lagging. Still lagging. Oh god. Network. What's the meaning of this? And I'm already on fire. I'm already on fire. My good God. I honestly need to work on this. I honestly need to work on this. So you should be able to see my dot reset right now, right? So now I want to, okay, there are two things I want to do here. I want to show you how to optimize, your code, how to increase performance, right? So we're going to have two scenarios here. So the first scenario is we're going to do normal manipulation. Then at the end of it, we make sure that we clear the record. So as I'm saying clear the record, it might sound somehow, but let me show you what I mean. So the first thing I did here is I currently resetted sales order so that whatever thing I'm doing, I know I'm the one that did it. So I also want to now set range. Sorry. I want to set range to sales other documents. Oh, I think my network is bad. Okay, so document type. I want to filter to document type. Remember, I only want to get a record that the document type is what? Invoice. This is my manipulation that I want to do. So the first thing I did, because of what optimization sake, I resetted my record. I have set my filter. Now, at the end of it, maybe at the end of it, I want to now say sales order. Maybe let's say, oh my goodness, this is bad. This is really bad. So guys, I think I need to reschedule this. I'm so sorry about this. I think I need to reschedule uh, this live. I'm so sorry. So sorry. So let's meet around 6 7 Nigerian time so we can continue on this. Thank you all for actually staying this long. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate. Uh, even if it was just one person, I'm satisfied. Honestly, I mean, I'm still able to share what I have in me out there. So, in case you have not subscribed, please subscribe. So, I'll see you in the evening by God's grace. Thank for staying this long. Thank you.